What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. So just a fair warning, this video is going to be pretty lengthy because I have a lot of things I got to get off my chest and express about this topic, right? This topic deals with respectability politics, this whole black fatigue, this whole idea that black degenerates are making it harder for other black people in society to be respected. You know, they're making it harder for upstanding black people because the black degenerates are just driving white America crazy, and even the blacks can't stand them, and it's making us look bad and all of the above. And I really want to talk about a certain individual, a certain clip that's resurfaced on social media that's going around from political cartoonists and the creator of one of my favorite shows of all time, The Boondocks, right? Mr. Aaron McGruder. Back in 2003, Aaron McGruder was given this speech, and I should have done my research to find out where this speech was at, right? But, you know, Aaron McGruder, he gets up and he starts talking about, basically saying time is running out for a lot of black folks, for a lot of us black people. And he starts speaking about moral currency that black people have developed over the years of us, being in society, so on and so forth. He starts to go into this whole little spiel about the civil rights movement and the leadership that came after, and the reason why they were able to maintain a strong presence for a while is because black people had a certain amount of moral currency that we had been using. But now that moral currency is used all up now, right? He said this in 2003, right? He says that the moral currency is used up because white America has been watching us black people, act like fools for long enough. Aaron McGruder says, you know, the moral currency that our ancestors established, our grandparents and great-grandparents established, is now being used up because white America, white folks in America have been watching us act like complete fools for a long enough time where any sympathy they may have had to our plight is completely gone now because of the degenerates. And y'all, when I saw this clip from Aaron McGruder, I was immediately annoyed. I really was pissed off. And I really love Aaron McGruder's The Boondocks. That cartoon is so amazing. It's messaging towards black America, but dressed up in satire. And it's a brilliant cartoon. But this quote from him is nasty. It is disgusting. Okay? And you can respect a man's what's the word I'm looking for? I can respect a man's art and so on and so forth, but then disagree with certain things that he says in the way that he says them. And this is one of these instances where Aaron McGruder left me not just scratching my head, furious. Because a lot of people are sharing this clip as a way to justify black fatigue, so on and so forth. And I ain't having it. Okay? It boggles my mind how many black folks really don't understand what racism is, and they don't understand what racism is and how it really works. You know what I mean? The notion that there are swing racists out here who can be swayed at any turn. Like, as long as these black people carry themselves upright, as long as they don't have degeneracy, we can respect them. We can really get behind them. The idea that, if we all are upright and wearing suits and we all are speaking proper English, if we all are carrying ourselves like model citizens, then the racists will empathize with us. They will be in lockstep with us. They will understand us. Brother, they don't give a fuck. Okay, that's what racism is. All right? They don't care nothing about how respectable we all are coming across. First of all, the idea that a group of black people as a whole can be judged by the actions of few, that shit is racist in general. That black people, we are the only group of people who get judged by the actions of few. We get judged as a community, as a people. Black folks get judged. You see a few degenerate people, look at them black folks, look at them N-words. They ain't nothing. They never gonna be nothing. Look at how they act. That is racist within itself. No other group of people gets judged like that all the way through and through. One group of people, oh, they doing this, all of them like this. Like this is crazy. White America don't get judged like that at all because they have degenerates running all through their community. I've seen white degeneracy up close and personal going to school, grad school in the state of Arkansas. All right, I saw white degeneracy up close and personal, and they still don't get judged as a whole for the actions of few like black folks do. So that whole idea, that premise is racist within itself. And I don't think Aaron McGruder really understands that. And it's puzzling because he made such a brilliant cartoon about, the community and how, and messages to black folks. It really boggles my mind, right? Let me just say this too. And I took notes on this. The rise in the anti-black racist climate of America today. The rise in the anti-black racist rhetoric and the policies that we're seeing is not due to degeneracy amongst black people at all. In fact, I can argue white supremacists and anti-black conservatives, they love black degeneracy. They love it because it's way too profitable and marketable for them to really be upset about it. Right? It's black degeneracy is way too profitable and marketable for them to really be upset or for it to be the catalyst of their racism. They've made shows around black degeneracy and stuff like that, TV shows and so on and so forth. It's profitable for them. Black degeneracy is not the catalyst for their racism at all. Degeneracy amongst some groups of black folks. No, it's not. They've already been this way. They can't stand black people and hate black people guts already. There's no amount of sexy red music and sexy red videos that's going to make them just be like, oh my God, look how these black people act. I was almost with them. No. And we got to knock that shit the fuck off. Knock it off. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the rise in, because again, the rise in the anti-black racist climate of America is not due to some black degeneracy that we're seeing. The rise of the anti-black racist climate in this country is a direct result of having a black man as the president of the United States of America. The rise in the anti-black racism we're seeing is the direct result of having Barack Obama as president. So it pissed so many people off. So many white folks are so upset and irked by it. I have a friend of mine who went to a all white school, predominantly white school, for grammar school and high school as well. When she was in high school or elementary school, I believe, she told me, when Barack Obama became president of the United States of America, she was in elementary school, a predominantly white elementary school. She told me her pregnant teacher was shouting that Barack Obama was evil and he was going to snatch her baby out of her stomach. Barack Obama was the Antichrist and he's coming to coming to get white folks. And oh my God. You see what I'm saying? So the uptick in racist rhetoric and policies and banter and so on and so forth is the direct result of a black man being the president of this country and so many people being pissed off about it. So that's why we're seeing a lot of the racist rhetoric we're seeing now. And also the uptick in the anti-black racist climate of this country is due to this dumb and bullshit idea that somehow, some way, we black folks are taking jobs and educational opportunities away from white folks, from good old white folks. We taking their jobs and opportunities from them. We're taking all these different opportunities that they should get because of DEI and because this country is too woke. And that's why I promise y'all, any black person that use woke in that bastardized form, I'm on your ass. I know you're not a friend of mine. I don't want you near me. I don't want you around me. I don't want you breathing the same air I'm in. I don't want you at no black functions. I don't want you at a damn cookout near me. I don't want you at the movie theater with me. I don't want you around me. Because I know you are not a champion of black folks. I know you don't give a rat's ass about black people. I know you will throw black folks under the bus at any turn if you're using the word woke in its bastardized form. So all y'all who got mad at me calling Mr. Potato Head, aka Anton Daniels, out and all of that, you're mad because he holds us accountable, and I know the fuck he doesn't. He doesn't give a fuck about holding black people accountable. He wants to put on a show for anti-black racists who can't stand us. He wants to get a pat on the head and an attaboy from them. He will throw us under the bus at any turn and deny racism at every turn. That is not a friend of mine or a friend of black people at all. At all. You feel me? So don't come over here with all of that. So again, when I see people like him using the term woke in its bastardized form, I know you are not for black people. I know you are not a friend of black people at all. You are not an ally of us. You are not of us. You probably got black skin, but again, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, and we know that, man. So yeah, back to what I was saying. I went off on a tangent, excuse me. But the rise in the anti-black climate that we're seeing now is due to Barack Obama being president and due to this idea that black people are just taking white people jobs and all of that because of DEI and all of that. So it's nothing to do with black degeneracy. And again, because degeneracy is present across every ethnic group in this country. It's present in white folks. It's present in Asian people, Native Americans, Arab people, so on. I've seen it. I've seen it up close and personal. But for some reason, the degeneracy in our community gets highlighted much more. And we get this blanket treatment that all of our people are degenerates because we have a group of people acting out and acting wild. Like people don't act wild and act ignorant across a whole lot of other ethnic groups. It's really stupid. It's really, really dumb. And racists use that to justify their racism. You know what I mean? But again, this idea that there are swing racists out here, these racists don't watch Sexy Red videos. They don't watch her music videos and say to themselves, well, I was going to respect these black people. I was going to respect them, and I was going to admit that black people deserve equality in this country. But you know what? After watching this Sexy Red video, after watching this Glorilla video, after watching this Chief Keef video and Lil Durk video, I take it all back. What? After watching their videos, I take it all back now. I was going to respect these black people. But after watching Sexy Red's performance, after watching Sukiana's performance, I take all the respect I have for them back. I take it back. I was going to say they deserved equality, but you know what? I take it back now. That shit does not exist. Them racist people don't give a fuck about because they're being degenerates. Because I see degeneracy in their community, I don't respect them. Bro, they don't respect us anyway. They don't like us at all. It don't got nothing to do with Sexy Red or nothing. You could be the most polished man in America and polished man or woman in America and still be disrespected and still be treated as next to nothing. I know personally, okay? I faced racism several times, okay? In grad school, I'm living in the graduate apartments, right? I'm doing my thing at Arkansas State University. I got my grade point average was like a 3.9 at the time in grad school, right? I'm leaving out of graduate housing. I have on a black White Sox starter jacket, a black White Sox fitted cap with black Timberland boots, and the police are riding past slowly, and they pull up behind me as I'm walking. And get this, I'm a graduate assistant when I'm in school. I'm walking to go meet the professor that I'm working for, right? As they come behind me, she calls for backup. They saying they got a report of a shorter black male twisting apartment doors in the complex back there with a shorter black man in all black. That's a fucking lie. She saw me walking through the apartment complex and says, this Negro does not belong here. What the fuck is he doing back here? Right? She said all of that. She saw me and thought, oh, he don't belong here. She calling the front desk people to see if I live there. She want to see my identification, all of that. I see, man, if she see this Chicago, Illinois is where my ID is at, oh, they gonna say, oh, we got us one. You feel me? Like, and luckily I didn't snap and go off, because you know if I get mad, if I would have snapped and went off, because I know they're racially profiling me. If I would have snapped and went off, they would have said they feared for their lives. And would have ended my life. And I can't be gone. At that time, I had my daughter. I have 2 children now. But I had my young daughter in Chicago. There's no way I could have been gone away from her. You know what I'm saying? But profiling me, Don't think I'm in school there. Don't believe me that I'm in school. None of that, right? So I said, well, damn, do I have to have my suit on and all of that to be looked at as upright and all of that? And still, when I had suits on, they still looking at me like I don't belong back there. What the fuck am I doing back here? Because I got a suit on, but I got earrings in my ear as well. Like, what the hell? You feel me? I've been living in certain hoods of Chicago. After I come get a hair, I remember this one time, I had just came from getting a haircut up the street. I'm living on right off 104th and Morgan at the time in Chicago, right? I'll go up the street, go get my haircut. As soon as I come around the corner by the gas station, police in the car, they hop out on me. Asking me, can I empty my pockets? Who do I know around here? How long have I lived around here? I'm telling them, we just moved over here. Because we had just moved, my mother had just moved. My mother and my stepfather had just moved to where we were staying at the time. I had just came home from college. I was going back home to college. Later on that day, I came home for like 2 weeks for winter break, right? So I'm already going back home. I'm going back to school later on that day. I was home for like three weeks maybe. I'm already going back home, going back to school, I'm sorry. Later on that night, right? I'm going back on the train, on the Amtrak train back to Mississippi Valley State University, my HBCU where I got my bachelor's degree from, right? They asking me, can I pull stuff out of my pockets, all of that. You can tell by how I'm looking. You can tell I wasn't a street kid. You can tell I didn't come from no bullshit or nothing. They still looking at me as a suspect. I'm clean cut, clean shaven. I got a shirt and tie on underneath my goddamn coat. Because I think I had just left. We went to church or something like that. We went to church, and then I think I walked to the gas station. I walked to go get my hair cut after that. My barber let me get cut up or something. Yeah. And they still looking at me like, who the heck is this Negro over here? I know I had my Ohio State hoodie on, and I had my little brown coat on under it. But you can see the goddamn tie on my thing. They still want to know, is he one of them gang members over here? And again, I'm a black man. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I never been arrested. Got multiple degrees and all of that. And I still get looked at as, oh, he got to be one of these degenerate N-words. So all of that respectability politics, that shit don't matter. Black folks got to let that go. That's stuff that, our older black folks in our communities, our grandparents and great-grandparents thought that respectability politics was the way for us to get respect, to get treated equally, to get treated fairly in this country, and it's not. I'm not saying you act a fool. I'm not saying you just present yourself anyway. Yeah, you don't act a fool. You carry yourself in good fashion, all of that. You know what I mean? You carry yourself well and everything like that. But what I'm saying is, I want black people to understand that there is no amount of suits you can wear, no amount of degrees you can attain that will stop you, to keep you exempt from racism. Let me repeat that because I stuttered. There's no amount of degrees you can attain, no amount of suits you can wear, no amount of proper English you can speak to keep you away from racism. If racists are truly racist, like they really, really are, they don't give a fuck about any of that. And I went on that whole soliloquy explaining my stories and so on and so forth. But I'm just saying, like, I had to explain that because, like, it boggles my mind how people think that respectability politics and the degeneracy of other black folks is going to hold us back, and they're not going to respect us if they see sexy reds. They already don't respect us. As a matter of fact, I want to remind people, like there was a rise of enrollment in the Ku Klux Klan, in the KKK during the Civil Rights Movement, when black folks were all holding themselves upright, dressing in suits and ties, and black women were dressing elegantly in dresses and holding themselves in high esteem and high regard, right? We had two-parent homes. All of that was all present in Black America at that time, and it was still a rise in the KKK membership because respectability politics didn't matter to them. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. All they knew is they couldn't stand black people. They didn't care if you got degrees, if you talk proper, if you came from a two-parent household. They didn't care if you were married. They don't care if you were a woman who had never slept with another man outside of your husband. They didn't care. You were the N-word to them forever, ever. You were next to nothing. You were like the scum of the on the bottom of their shoe. And they didn't care how well you spoke and how educated you were. None of that. This is during the civil rights movement when black folks everybody mostly was high esteemed individuals. Across our community, we saw a ton of high esteemed people who carried themselves well and upright, and the KKK membership still rose because racists are going to be racist, no matter how respectable black folks carry themselves. And I want my people to understand that. So when you're sharing this clip of Aaron McGruder and retweeting it and sharing it across different platforms, know that that's bullshit that you're spewing and is actually giving credence to racists and basically validating their racism. You're validating their racist behavior and their racist beliefs when you're sharing this and making it seem like Aaron McGruder said something so profound and this black fatigue, like, oh my God, you know, the degeneracy is making it harder for other black people to want to be around other black folks, and white folks can't deal with us because we're so immoral. Fuck out of here. I've seen white degeneracy up close and personal. They make it seem like, oh, the baby mama culture within black folks and single mothers and black people environments is why it's so degenerate. Man, when I went to Arkansas, I saw so many single mamas that was white. I saw so many baby mamas that was white boys getting the fuck up out of there on their baby mama, not even taking care of the kid, can give a fuck about their babies. Bye, I don't like you no more. Bye, forget the baby too. I saw that all throughout Arkansas. All throughout Arkansas. And this is MAGA land in Arkansas. I'm talking about I saw more Confederate flags than I ever seen in the state of Mississippi when I was in Arkansas at Arkansas State University. That shit was like having a goddamn Chicago Bears sticker on your car in Chicago, the way I saw the Confederate flag on people's cars. And you know, when I was in Arkansas when Donald Trump became president, and nearly every car that had that MAGA sticker on it also had the Confederate flag on that motherfucker. So that told me something right there. I knew what time we was living in right then. You know what I mean? But yeah, black people have played into respectability politics for way too long. We have failed to realize it doesn't help us at all. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? And it doesn't sway races at all. Yeah, respectability politics can help you get a job or something. But then you still could be working for a person who still don't give a fuck about black people and don't respect black people at all. They just feel like you can uphold their company and you can hold their company in high regard. You can help keep their company in good status, in good standing with how you present yourself. You know, but that don't mean they respect black folks and love black people because you wear a suit and you talk proper. So I wanted to get this video out. I'm about to get ready to go to work. And I saw this clip of Aaron McGruder being shared over and over again. I had to take my notes and get my thoughts out because it was just annoying me that I saw so many people sharing this, and black people, and thinking that, you know, this is the way for us to think and all that. You know, our moral currency has run out because of the sexy reds and the Sukianas and the gangster rappers. And man, we ain't had no moral currency with them to begin with. We did not. We never had moral currency with them at all. That's why they were racist, and that's why we were systemically oppressed. That's why we faced police brutality. That's why we had all of these things that were not set, that were all these different obstacles that were created from keeping us from advancing. You know, all these different voters' rights and all that type of stuff. It was so much stuff. I just saw Sinners, man. I saw it on the day it came out. And I just thinking about this. In the scene, in the movie, Annie, who is the love interest of Smoke, played by Wumi Masaku, she was taking sharecropper coins. Black people were sharecroppers in the 1930s in the Mississippi Delta. They were not paid in actual money. They were paid in sharecropper money that could only be used in their community to keep them systemically oppressed, to keep them down, to keep them from advancing. We're not going to pay you in money. We're going to pay you in sharecropper coins so that you don't get ahead, so that you don't get far. This shit been going on since the 1930s when black folks was married, and black folks was getting married at young ages and staying married and staying together and holding themselves in high regard and high esteem. And we still were getting treated like nothing and get served scraps and left with scraps so we wouldn't advance. So what are people talking about? I'm done talking. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out, y'all. Peace.